Okay, I'm not very happy right now, but I'm going to take this this time to quickly discuss what happened to episode 2 of Tea Time Tuesday, where I discussed my situation with my ex-boyfriend. He knew what was in that video, what was going to be in that video, and he approved what would be in that video. If there was something that I felt had blurred context and I didn't know if this would be okay to include, I texted him. I said, hey, I have A, B, C, and D in here, and I quoted them and I sent them to him and I said, what do you not want in there? And he said, okay, I don't want that in there. And I was like, okay. And then I put, I took that out and I put the rest in the video. As soon as I posted that video and he watched it, he texted me. He was like, this is funny. This is great. I love it. Great video. I approve. I posted at least 3 disclaimers that I know of. I mentioned in the video where I said he knows that I'm making this video and I am not doing this to call him out. And he texted me and he was like, haha, like you should make a Tea Time Tuesday video about me. I was like, yeah, no. And then he was like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, what? And he's like, views. And I'm like, that's the worst possible reason to do anything, which is for views and fame and money or whatever. But if he wanted it, I made it, and I mentioned to a couple of people what the next video was going to be about, and they were so excited. So he texted me, he was like, I love, approve, awesome. Okay. So seeing as how I mentioned that in the beginning, in the middle, and at the very end of that video, and people want to leave comments and tell me that I'm leaking private conversations, I pulled 0 receipts. There were no screenshots, no direct quotes, except from myself about any of that. So for you to leave a comment, that's ignorant. I didn't watch the whole video, and that's that. For the people who came up to me or texted me that were my friends and said, Lily, I am looking out for you, I so greatly appreciate that, and I love you. I made the executive decision to take it down because for the past few hours there was too much drama happening and I was not going to deal with it. So for those of you who are wondering what happened to that video, I took it down. I apologize if you liked that video. I apologize to him directly. I'm sorry that I had to take that down. I know you liked it. I know you were excited. And I know you were sending it to a lot of your friends, but there are some people out there who just cannot deal with certain things. My apologies for starting off this video on a sour note, but let's get a little bit more lighthearted and go ahead and get into this video, which is going to be my first makeup tutorial because people were requesting that I make makeup tutorials. So I did that for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't even come at me for how crusty my hair looks in this video. I know. Hey guys, how's your day going? Mine's going great. Thank you for asking. And today, you know what? We're gonna do something a little different. Mes amis requested that I start doing makeup tutorials, and I did this makeup look yesterday and I was really digging it, so I was like, epic, tomorrow I'm gonna make a tutorial on it. So here's the look if y'all care. It is using the Anastasia Riviera palette, I don't know, palette. There's a lot of names in there that I probably can't pronounce properly, so the voiceover is gonna be cuckoo, but you know what, we're gonna try. I just rolled out of bed. Using the Drunk Elephant Protini Polypeptide Cream, I'm applying that all over and blending it in to moisturize my face and get it ready. Then I'm using the Sephora Instant Moisturizer, which smells amazing, and I'm applying that once again all over and rubbing it in to pre-moisturize my face because I don't want any more of these face demons. I got 3. I'm using this Cactus Water Moisturizer by Boscia, I don't know how to pronounce this, and I'm applying a little bit all over my face and rubbing it in as my last moisturizing step. And I'm now taking my rose water from Garnier and spraying my face, and I'm gonna let it dry. Using the e.l.f. Poreless Primer, I'm taking a tiny bit and applying that on my T-zone and my chin, wherever my pores are the biggest, to fill them in and prime them for foundation. Then I'm going to be taking my Fenty Beauty Concealer in the shade 110 and applying it all over my pimples, and I'll let that dry while I do my eye makeup to try and gain a little more coverage. Now using the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil in the shade medium brown, I'm going to be mimicking little brow hairs by using soft upward strokes, and then I'm just going to light-handedly fill in the rest of my brows. Back in with my Fenty concealer, I'm going to be applying that all over my eyelid, and then going to be using the flat Morphe M124 brush to clean and carve my brows and blend out the rest of the concealer to use as an eyeshadow primer. Now, using my Mercier setting powder and the setting powder brush from Real Techniques, I will be setting my eyelids. Using an M433 brush from Morphe, I will be going into Anastasia's Sails from the Riviera palette and applying that as a base shade. Then using Estate with that same brush, I will be gently, light-handedly blending that into my crease as a transition shade. Then, using the slightly darker Coastline with that same brush, I will be applying that into the crease as a more transition shade to darken it up and build a little bit more color. Then, using that same brush, I will be going into Monte Carlo and putting that directly into my crease to deepen it up and add a little bit more definition. Still using the M433, I'm taking Bahamas, which is this beautiful neon pink, and I'm going to be taking a very small amount and very lightly putting that into my outer crease to define the pink color. Next, using an M431 brush, I will be taking Canes, I think, which is the purple shade, and packing that into my outer V very heavily. Then taking the 433, I will be blending that out a little bit. And now, using foundation, I'm going to be taking that M124 brush and cutting my crease. I'm going to be doing a half cut crease today. I like to use foundation because it's a little bit more forgiving than concealer. So I'm just going to carve out half of my crease, and then I will be going in with that same M124 brush, and I will be going back in with Sails, and that's going to go all over that foundation part that we just carved out, and that's going to be our lid color. And I'm just building that up until she's a blinding matte white. Guys, this shade is so pretty. Then going in with Coastline and the M433 brush, I will be blending out that harsh line between the cut crease and my outer V. And then going in with Monte Carlo, I will be doing that same thing just to add a little bit more of that ombre effect from light to dark going out into the outer V. Now going on to face, I will be using this green color corrector from Essence Cosmetics, and I'm just applying that all over my face where there's redness, and taking my beauty blender and blending that out just a little bit so there's still a little bit of that color under my foundation. Now I'm going to go in with my Peach Perfect foundation in the shade Swan, and I'm adding 2 pumps to my beauty blender and dotting that in the 5 little regions of my face and blending that out. I'm also going to use the tip of my beauty sponge to try and like carve out the shape of my eyeshadow so it's a little more defined and sharp. Okay, we're done. Now I'm going back in with my concealer, and I'm going to be concealing my under eyes with little triangular shapes. And I also covered that little face demon. Using whatever's on the applicator, I'm putting a little bit on my nose, and then using my Fenty Beauty contour stick in the shade Mocha. I know it's like a concealer, but I use it for contour. I'm just doing the little E3, whatever it is, trick. And then using the butt of my beauty blender, I will be blending that out. Then I'm going to be flipping my beauty blender to the pointed side and blending out my concealer. And then very quickly, I'm going to go in with my Mercier setting powder and my beauty blender, and I'm going to bake my under eyes, my nose, my forehead, my chin, and then I'm also going to cut the contour, clean it up. Then using the Hoola bronzer and the e.l.f. blush brush, I'm just going to go through and bronze everything up a little bit, blend it out just so it's a little more seamless, and my face is really nice and warm. Then using the little brush that comes in the compact for the Hoola, I'm going to be contouring my nose very gently with a lot of product. Then using that contour brush, I'm going to very light-handedly blend out what I had just applied onto my nose. And using my Real Techniques setting brush, I'm going to be sweeping away all of that extra powder from baking. And then I'm going to be taking the taper. Now using the NYX Away We Glow blush in the shade Summer Reflection, I'm going to be applying that to the apples of my cheeks. With my James Charles palette, I will be using the shade Ring Light to highlight using my setting powder brush from Real Techniques. I like using this for highlight. And then I'm going to highlight my nose on the bridge and the tip, and then I also highlight my Cupid's bow, forehead, and chin, just so that it's very glowy, very bronzy for summer. Then going in with this blue shade and my M124 brush, I'm applying that onto my lower lash line. It's a shimmery, it's so gorgeous. It's like seashells, I think that's how you pronounce it. I think it's a pun. Back in with Sales, I'm using that as a brow bone highlight, and then with that highlighter shade that I use from the James Charles palette, I'm going to be applying that into my inner corner. And then I'm going to set my face with my Rose Water from Garnier. And then I'm going in with my Neutrogena Healthy Volume Mascara, and I'm applying that onto my upper lashes as well as my lower lashes. Look at my greasy hair. Hi, I just rolled out of bed. It's fine. I didn't brush my hair or anything. I just started filming. Okay guys, so that is the look for today. If you like this video, subscribe, like, leave a comment down below, and share this video with somebody else you think might like it. That is it for me today, guys. We're done.